We played the genius that is Whoopi Goldberg about half an hour ago, and wow, she was good, wasn't she?
she showed her genius.
She did.
You're going to have to pay a little more in taxes.
I can't. It's agonizing. And from one genius to the next on The View, here's Sunny Hostin, who was on some show. This isn't even on this isn't from The Coven. She was on a show explaining about voter ID. You know this is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Black people don't have cars, don't have driver's licenses. So it's sort of a vestige of, I think,
Wait, what?
post-slavery laws where black people
Slavery
had to prove their right to vote. And oftentimes they couldn't vote because they couldn't pass some crazy test or they didn't have the appropriate ID. It also affects women that are married.
I think
maybe
this is still their show.
Your passport reflects something that's different on your birth certificate or on your driver's license. So really the bottom line is voter suppression.
This is unbelievable.
And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote. And most democracies do it that way. We're the only ones that really don't do it that way.
That's not true. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh, that's a lie. That's an absolute flat-out lie. Plus, the racism of low expectations might be the worst kind of racism of all. You know, your normal run-of-the-mill racism, that's just based on ignorance.
Right.
But the racism of low expectations, for that, you have to believe, as so many of these left-wing elitist numbskulls do, that blacks are incapable of obtaining a photo ID, which is so incredibly demeaning. It means that you believe they're too stupid, too lazy, too incompetent. They're
certainly good enough to work in the factories because we don't know anybody else that can work in a factory.
But not only can you not figure out how to obtain this impossible task of a photo ID or where such a thing might be located, but they also think you can't scrape together the $5 or whatever
it is,
whatever the minimal cost in your state is. Maybe it's as exorbitant as $20 in some places to get an official ID. I don't know, but whatever it is, to these leftists, minorities can't possibly make that miracle happen for them in their lives. So
it's incredible.
These pathetic excuses for human beings will just have to depend on the benevolent benefactors on the left to continue to take care of them their whole lives. Yeah. It's so condescending. It is so insulting. But this is what the left has always done to minorities. They keep them dependent on their liberal lords and ladies, their betters. To them, blacks are just cattle. And they, the elitists, are the ranchers. So they're going to herd you into your little corral. Yep. They'll show you who you need to vote for. And they'll make sure you stay put on their ranch and stay in line with their agenda.
Well, but we believe in you just there.
Right. And in return, here's the best part for minorities. In return for all of this devotion to your benefactors, they're going to continue to treat you like garbage, as they have for the past several centuries.
Yep.
They're going to continue to lead you around by the nose and make sure that you never exceed their incredibly low expectations of you. And that's the beauty of this whole plan.
That's the beauty of it right
From
there.
people like Sunny Hostin. Does she have a car?
Right.
Does she have photo ID?
That's what I wanted to ask her. Like, just play the first 5 seconds of this again.
Unbelievable. Watch this.
Black people don't have cars, don't have driver's licenses. So
what
it's sort of a vestige of.
So she's black, and then she goes on to talk about women. Right. She's a black woman, so she doesn't have a driver's license?
Or a car?
Shut up. What the hell? That's your follow-up.
A newfangled car. Who has that? I mean, who's got it?
I'm sure Sonny has a limo picker up every day at the house.
She probably doesn't need a driver's license. Fair point, Jeffy.
Yeah. But that is their stupid show. Incredible. They do that The View has their weekend show that they do that they all shoot on Friday afternoon for the weekend, which has been such a big hit. We see clips from it all the time.
All the time.
Oh, wait. And then they have that show, which is like their after the show podcast.
How do you know this, bro?
And because they promoted it. They promoted this after the show, and they heard him in after the show, and because to get to know the View hosts better. And all it does is promote how stupid they are.
That's what we want.
It's incredible.
We want to get to know those women better.
That was their belief when they started doing it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Despicable.
Whole thing's most definitely is.
And there's a reason 80% of blacks are in favor of photo ID at the voting booth because they all have it. They've got the ID. They can produce it.
Yeah.
You know what the number? I looked this up yesterday. The number of blacks who have government issued photo ID
0
is ever so slightly higher than 0.
Sorry,
it's just a little beyond 0. It's 87%. 87%. Now, the rate for whites is 95%. We're 8% ahead of them. So that shows you what a racist nation this is.
Right.
But come on. It is not an issue for blacks to carry a photo ID.
And our former president, Biden, we talked about it forever. He always talked about how they didn't know how to get to the pharmacies. They didn't know how to get online. They didn't know how to get on the internet. He believed that's why he was always squeezing big black guys' muscles. And it wasn't because they could become an All-American. It was because they could block for him to be an All-American so that he could be an All-American. Yeah. They're all just racist dirtbags.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, they are.
I was just told in my ear by Lance, and trust but verify, Lance. She used to be a federal prosecutor. I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
How? There it is.
How long
under
was
Obama?
I don't know. Let's see. I have to look up the dates here.
I have no idea where she came from.
Why
she's on that show.
And she's married to a surgeon that she got in trouble because he was busy babbling about how he was gaming the system.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they really? That's interesting. Let's talk about that.
Right.
It just says that she began her career as a law clerk, blah, blah, blah.
She's terrific, though.
And left to become a federal prosecutor.
If there was ever hope for anybody that wanted to be a lawyer, that's it.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to get there.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Well, only she can. As part of that community.
Never mind. Yeah.
Only she could do that.
No one else could.
The rest of you people, we don't expect anything from you. So just stay home and we'll take care of you. Okay?
Right.
We'll take care of you. We'll tell you where to go, when to go there, how to get there. In fact, we'll pick you up and give you a ride.
It's